Hello and welcome. We're going to talk about lifestyle and weight loss and how our lifestyle does affect our weight loss. Glad you could join us. How are you today, Kelly?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen. Okay,
There we are.
yeah, there we are. Those pictures were taken in, is it 2012? Kelly was the first picture.
I believe so,
And
yes.
then in 2016 at our first half marathon. And if you wonder how we got there, it was quite a ride, and we're still on it. We haven't stopped. We completely changed our lifestyle, and so we just want to share with you the things that made us successful, or that we feel have made us successful. And for the first time in our lives, been able to keep off me 100 pounds, Kelly, 60, and we've done it for over a decade. So we feel like we've got a little bit of knowledge under our belt, and so we are very happy and excited to share that with you. So let's go ahead and get started.
Can I
So
say just one thing real quick?
absolutely.
And I want to say that, sometimes people look at it like, what do I have to give up?
Yes.
Or what am I going to lose in order to do this? And I just want to confirm to you what you gain is so much more. And we are living proof of that. And,
Absolutely.
you know, everyone around us benefits from that. Our family benefits from that. And hopefully, people in the community that, we're continuing to teach and share what we've done will benefit from that too. But you gain a tremendous amount. I wouldn't change a thing.
Well, and that's such a good point. So we're going to try not to be too long, but that's one of the things for us growing up. Food was the center of everything. And so we really
Absolutely.
struggled with, our mom really struggled when we changed the way that we ate and we changed our lifestyle, because she felt like it was a threat to her, where it wasn't. But people automatically feel threatened by what they're going to lose, and they have no idea what they're going to gain. So let's
That's
talk
right.
about it. Yeah, it's good stuff. So if you were looking at the big picture, we know that our lifestyle plays a crucial role in shaping our body composition. I say we know that. I did not know that in the beginning. I never put together that I had no energy or any of that stuff because I was overweight. I just felt like those were the cards that I had been dealt, and that was who I was going to be for the rest of my life. And that's a very scary place to be. So, what I learned was that small, sustainable changes can make a lasting impact in the things that you do. And again, like Kelly said earlier, we are living proof that this works, and that it's not easy. Nothing that you're going to do worthwhile is easy, right? It all takes time, and it takes dedication and consistency, but
And
it's so
support.
worth it. And support. The community is so important. And when you saw the picture of Kelly and I running, that was um, that was what kept us both going. We knew every morning that the other one was waiting, or after work that the other one was waiting for the other one, and it gives you that accountability to get up and go. So with diet and nutrition, it's calories in versus calories out. So eating more than you burn is going to lead to weight gain. So this is where we like to focus on the 50-50 plate. We do half the plate filled with non-starchy vegetables and the other half filled with starchy carbs like beans, whole grains, um, legumes, and potatoes. All of my favorite foods. That
Right.
before starting this, we had been told our whole lives you can't eat those potatoes, and you can't eat the rice, and you can't. So it took me a while in my mind to realize that this was okay, that this was something, because as a lifelong dieter, that was hard for me to grasp in my head. um, the quality of your food really matters. So at if you're looking at highly processed foods that are loaded with oils and sugars and fats and salt, that leads to fat storage. And whole foods, that supports your metabolism, and that's where we want to be, is whole foods. And for me, when I first started this lifestyle, and I heard, I think it was Dr. Furman, he was like, you need to shop from the perimeter of the store. And I thought, I don't buy anything from the perimeter of the store. What am I supposed to eat? That was a huge adjustment for me, because I lived in the fast food line, and when we cooked with butter and oil and fat and sugar, and so your
Bacon
quality.
grease.
Yeah, bacon. Yeah, yes, bacon grease. I still see people do that now, and I'm like, I can't believe people still do that, but they do. So your
Right.
quality of your food matters, and then it's portion control. And this one is one that a lot of people on this lifestyle or that start on this journey, they struggle with that because even healthy foods can cause weight gain if you're overeating them. And I
Right.
told I told Kelly today, I called her and I was like, hey, just for the record, I can overeat on sweet potatoes all day long. I love sweet potatoes. Um, so you have to have that balanced plate. And that's where we go back to the 50-50 plate because it's a visual. I'm a very visual learner. And for me, when I
Yeah.
see that plate, I can go, okay, that makes sense to me. And it's easier
Right.
for me to build my plate. Kelly makes beautiful plates and bowls. She's very good at taking pictures of her food. I am not so much.
Yes. Yes.
So
Because food, you eat with your eyes too.
yes, yes. And the smell and the crunch, it all comes into play where I think that we've been sold a bill of goods that just tells us that it can be all brown. You know, you think of what you get through the drive-through, it's all brown, it's all oily and but because that food is formulated to make us want more, that works. We don't care about what it looks like. But when we flip to this way of eating, it is very visual and I eat things now that I would have never tasted of before and I'm so grateful because it's so good. So
Absolutely.
I
Yes.
thought we could go over the calorie density chart really quickly because what you're looking at is half of your plate, you want it to be filled with those 100-calorie non-starchy vegetables, and you do that because that will fill you up. That will give you that volume of food that will make you satisfied. And then you have those starchy, those 400 to 600 calorie foods, those will keep you full longer. So what we try to do is eat to the left of the red line. So again, this is a visual of how we eat, right? Do you have anything on that, Kelly?
Oh, but I'll just say, if you're looking at the chart and you're thinking, oh my gosh, there's just like fruit and vegetables over there, but it's also things like you said, the whole grains, the potatoes, the beans, the legumes. And when all of that is balanced out in a 50-50 plate, it is satiating. You're full for a long period of time. So you
It's
don't have to
beautiful.
worry about being, yes, and you don't have to worry about being hungry. You're going to fill your body with nutrient dense foods. And so not only are you getting great nutrition, but you're satisfying your hunger as well. And your body will thank you for it.
Absolutely, your body will pay you back either way you go. Okay, so
Good point.
physical activity is so important. We must move our bodies, and sometimes we end up sitting all day long, whether it's sitting at a computer, on our couch,
Right,
whatever, sitting in our cars. So the physical exercise, it's going to help you burn those calories. We don't exercise so we can eat more. We
right,
exercise because we want to take care of our bodies, and we know all the research shows that as we age, we need to be strong. And the only way we're going to be
right.
strong is to work our bodies out. So daily movements count. When we have that lifestyle of sitting for a long period of time, it can not only make us weak, but it can also cause us to gain weight. So we have a great workout program that we have in our app that really is so nice because it keeps you on track. When you get up in the mornings, you say, "Today I'm supposed to do this," and it just makes it really pretty. I hate to say mindless, but it makes it very easy for you to know exactly what you need to do and what days you need to do that on. So that's very helpful.
And you check them all off as you go down the line. So it's easy to keep track of. But I wanted to say real quickly about working out too. Not only are you building muscle for a strong body, but as women age, we need to make sure we're taking care of our bones. And so, weight bearing exercise is going to give you stronger bones. So we need
Absolutely.
strong bones, strong muscles, big muscle, not big muscle, but we need muscle on our body in order to be strong.
Well, and that's an indicator of how we're going to do as we age is how strong our body is. So we need to make sure that we can still pick up that 50-pound bag of dog food or cat food or a case of water, whatever it is you're doing. You want to be able to take care of yourself. So that
Right.
that workout is very important. And then the sleep and the stress. So a lack of sleep it disrupts your hunger hormones and it increases your cravings and your appetites. And I love it because Dr. Neil Bernard always says, um, you need to sleep. And he said, not that sleeping more causes you to lose weight, but it just, you're not eating. You can't be eating if you're laying in your bed asleep. And, I will find myself when I'm very, very tired, I will, I find myself wanting more. I crave more in the kitchen. Um,
I crave starchy things. I notice that when I am sleep deprived, I want to eat, breads and things of
yeah,
that, things that I normally probably wouldn't eat a lot
yeah,
of. That's what I seem to crave when I'm
yeah.
sleep deprived.
Yeah, it has such everything is connected. So when you realize that every part of your body, listen to your body. What is your body telling you? You know, chronic stress, it raises your cortisol levels, and that leads to fat storage, especially around the midsection. And as we get older, we find that that is where we see our weight. Most women will see that weight gain around their midsection, and it's a problem. So, because we don't want that, right? We want to be healthy as we age. And so, some tips for managing that stress is exercise, meditation, good sleep habits. And that means create a routine at night, no screens an hour before bed, turn off all that stuff. And if you can, read a book, journal, do things like that. And those types of habits will help you to, to drop that weight. You'll be surprised. So that our habits and environment, so our eating habits, um, a lot of times we hear there's a lot of noise right now about um, fasting and which, intermittent fasting is fine. Supervised fasting is very good. If you go to somewhere like True North or medically
Right.
supervised, that's great. But a lot of people will say, well, I'll fast today and then they end up just eating twice as much as they would normally eat because they're hungry. Sometimes that those skipping meals will cause us to overeat later, or really not
Right.
even know. You don't even know it because you're like, well, I skipped breakfast, so I have extra calories to play with. And
Right.
when we're not aware of what we're putting in our mouths, that's when we get in trouble. Social influence. I want you to think about this because this is another one of those things that was a light bulb for me. So, who we eat with and how we spend our time affects our choices. If you run with a pack of people that love to go out to eat and Mexican food and margaritas are their favorite things, guess what's going to be your favorite things? The influence is huge. I'm not saying you have to ditch your friends, but you don't always have to go along either because it makes it hard. And unless you're just really, really strong and you can just say, you know what, I'm not doing that. But you have to learn to do it so you don't, scare all your friends off. You have to learn to do it in a manner that's not threatening to them. Food accessibility. This is also huge because if you have junk food in your house, I think it's Chef AJ that says if it's in your house, it's in your mouth. And that is very true. So when you have those types of foods in your house, you're more likely to eat them. Put the good food where you see it. Most people in our group know that I am a hot sauce junkie. And it's funny today when I was getting my hot sauce out of my pantry, I have to reach to the side to get it. And I thought, I wonder why I don't put that dead in the middle where it's easy for me to get to. I need to make that easily accessible. I had a gentleman, he was one of my clients one day, he said, you keep telling me that salt's not good for my heart, and my doctor's telling me that salt's not good for my heart, but I just bought this huge thing of salt. And every time that I reach in the cabinet, I had to reach past the salt, and that upset him. And I said, move the salt. Either give the salt
Right.
away or move it out of your path. And then that makes it that much easier to where you're not so tempted by it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, that for me, if I see it, then I want it.
Hmm.
So there are going to be things in my house that I do not have control over because I'm not the only one that lives here. So those things that, bother me or influence me, I'll put on the top shelf over in the corner out of sight. So when I open the pantry, that's not the first thing I see. You
Yeah.
you have to find workable solutions around it, but you can do it.
Yeah, you don't just quit. You don't just say, well, it's that I just can't control that, so therefore I'm not going to do it. It's not what we do. I mean, we need to take care of ourselves and we're worth it. And we're
Right.
responsible for our bodies. So we need to step up and say, okay, How do I make this better? How do I make this work? Work with the people in your house and just see what kind of compromise you can come to.
Talk to your coach, work with your coach.
Absolutely. Okay, so mindset and emotions, we know that emotions that they play into everything. But emotional eating is when we eat out of stress, boredom, and sadness, right? We get stressed. We don't know.
Procrastination.
Yes, yeah, that's a
Sorry.
big one. No, that's a really big one. And we hit that wall and we think, okay, I'll go get a snack. That'll help me fix it. You know, so what I'm doing now is I am, whenever I hit that wall, and I hit that wall a lot, I get up and do squats because fill that time with something else, right? Create
Right.
a new
Productive.
habit. Yes, instead of the habit being I'm going to go grab whatever out of the kitchen, stand up and do some squats, do some jumping jacks, do something other than go eat. Change that habit. You'll be surprised. It's going to make a big deal because a lot of times we are grazers. We walk through the kitchen and we pick something up and it doesn't count, right? Because if it's not on a plate, the calories aren't there, and that's not true.
Right.
That's not accurate data. So self-perception, a negative body image can result in extreme diet and weight cycling. It's worse when we yo-yo. So we need to take the initiative and be, again, listen to your body, be aware. Am I hungry? Am I bored? Am I stressed? Why am I doing this? And love the body that you're in, right? You did not get in the shape that you're in today overnight. So we
Right.
know that it's a process. It was a process to get to where you are, and it's a process to get where you want to be. So being
Right.
kind to yourself will only further your adventure in getting to the body that you want, getting to the health that you want. Again, you deserve it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so you're not punishing yourself, you're rewarding yourself by caring enough about the food that you put in your body and taking care of the movement that your body needs in order to grow and to gain muscle and to get strong. Um, Building a healthy mindset, um, focus on progress, not perfection. We talk about this all the time.
I
You
love
you
that.
you do your best and you forget the rest. So if you maybe couldn't bring 100% to your workout that day, that's okay. You got in what you could. If you
Right.
if you blew a meal, you win the next meal. You make that
Right.
you just don't you can't give up. I mean, our mom, bless her heart, she was so funny. She would say, well, you know, it's lunch and I already blew the day, so I might as well just eat everything I want to for the rest of the day. I'll start again tomorrow. That is a recipe for failure. It just
Yes.
is.
Disaster.
Yes, and we were she was living proof of it and we were living proof of it. So
Right.
yeah, so we've broken that cycle and um it's life changing. It is. I mean, it is a lifestyle change that I've never once in the past however many years looked back and said, I'm so sad that I feel so good. I'm so
Right.
sad that I can exercise. And because when I started this, and I say this all the time, when I started this lifestyle, I could not walk 2 miles. I was that out of shape. So I went from walking 2 miles in just a matter of a few years to running a half marathon because I was consistent and because I was determined and because I saw the benefits.
And you didn't do that overnight.
Oh
Like you
no.
said, small changes
Yeah,
daily compound into big differences over time.
absolutely. And Kelly and I talk about all the time that even after this long, our bodies are still getting better. Our bodies are still,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes.
and that's
Yep.
amazing to me because we're not getting younger, but our bodies are still improving because we are still we're taking care of ourselves, and your body will reward you for that. It just will. So our key takeaways from today is that weight is shaped by diet, exercise, sleep, stress, and habits. Those habits, I'm telling you, are going to make you. They change your habits and you will change your world.
It's the driver for all of those things.
And you know, I'm not going to say it's because I've already said it's hard, but if you, like I said, when I start to think, okay, I've hit that wall. I can't do anything else. I need some creativity in my head. I'm going in the kitchen. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not going in the kitchen. I'm gonna do some sort of exercise. Be aware of what you're doing because it's so easy to mindlessly eat and not even know that you did it. Those small, consistent changes, we've already talked about that, they lead to sustainable results, life-changing results. And what you'll see is people will gravitate to you and say, hey, what are you doing? There's something
Right,
different,
right.
and some people are like, oh, I was hoping you were just taking something that was just going to make it really easy for me. And then other people are like, wow, you know, that's a big deal.
Well, and you know, it's challenging. And if you are struggling, change one thing.
Yeah,
Change one thing and make that change and do it every day for the week. And then the next week, make another small
add another
change
one. Yeah.
and do the both. Yeah. And before you know it, you're there. I mean, it makes a huge difference.
So in that, Kelly, even if you want to say, okay, so I can't do all day, I can't do a 50-50 plate all day. That's overwhelming for me. It's too much for me to process. I'm going to do breakfast every day this week. I'm going to do a 50-50 plate for breakfast and just plan that out and see how that looks. And then the more you get used to it, the easier it is to do. It's easier to build it once you've done, just like anything. Anything you try in the beginning, you're not good at because you've never done it. But the more you do it, the better you get. So
Right.
we want you to focus on your overall health, not just a number on the scale, because it took me until I was in my 40s to realize that that scale was just data. That's all it was. That was just a reflection of how I had treated my body and what that looked like. And now I know. I mean, I know when I step on that scale, that's data that I need, right, to calculate my health. So don't be afraid of the scale. Don't try to punish it and put it in the corner. It's going to tell you the things that you need to know about your body and about where you're at. It's not about being skinny. It's about being healthy. And I've been all those things. I've been morbidly overweight. I have been skinny and I have been healthy. And I can tell you that the healthy is the best of the three because I
Well,
feel like
you look wonderful when you're healthy. Your
absolutely.
body is the way it should be.
Yep.
Your skin is glowing. Your hair is healthy.
Yep.
Like when you're healthy, everything is in place as it should
Yeah.
be. And I mean, there's nothing more beautiful.
Yeah, that's how we're built. That's how we're meant to be. And our environment is what changes that for us. So, so let us know if you have any questions, if there's anything we can do to help you. If you have a story you want to share with us, we would love to hear it. We are
Well,
at agingwellfitness.com. We have one-to-one coaching, and we'd love to hear from you.
thank you. It was a great presentation, Kim.
Thank you, Kelly.